For centuries, men have pursued the secret to winning a woman's heart. Many have tried charm, wealth, or kindness, and most have failed, not because they lacked worth, but because they fundamentally misunderstood the game. Machiavelli revealed the truth ages ago. People are not driven by reality, but by their perception of it. Women are no different. They do not fall for logic or fairness. They respond to power, to tension, to the man who dares to command the hidden rules of desire. Most men reveal too much, pursue too quickly, and ultimately fade into the background. But a select few engineer attraction itself. And here, I will show you how. These are 11 Machiavellian rules, dark psychological principles that slice through her defenses and command her attention long after you have gone. These are not lines or tricks. They are weapons of influence. Stay until the end, because once you learn them, you will never again wonder what to say. You will move through her world not as a guest, but as the prize she finds herself unable to resist. Let's begin. The first rule to conquer any woman is this: never let her see the entire map of who you are. Reveal only fragments and keep the rest veiled in shadow. Attraction is not born from the obvious. It thrives in the unknown, in the unanswered questions that ignite her imagination long after you've left the room. A man who speaks endlessly of his past, his ambitions, and his feelings believes he is being authentic. In reality, he is stripping away every layer of mystery, leaving nothing left to discover. And what is easily discovered is just as easily forgotten. Mystery isn't about being silent for the sake of it. It is calculated control. You decide what to reveal and what to conceal. You offer enough to spark curiosity, but never enough to fully satisfy it. The human mind is drawn to puzzles, and the man who embodies a puzzle becomes unforgettable. Picture this. Two men meet the same woman. One deluges her with his life story. She nods politely, but her mind wanders. The other says less, chooses his words with care, and leaves small gaps for her to fill. That night, she lies awake thinking about him, replaying his tone, wondering what lies beneath his surface. Which man holds her attention? The one who put her imagination to work. Machiavelli understood this truth. Men and women alike are moved not by reality, but by perception. When you control perception, you control intrigue. So, live like the book she cannot put down. If she can predict every chapter, the story is over. If she never knows what the next page holds, she will keep reading. Mystery is the oxygen of desire. Take it away, and attraction suffocates. Guard it, and you become unforgettable. The second rule to conquer any woman is this: always define the frame, or you will be trapped within hers. Every interaction between a man and a woman unfolds within a frame, an invisible set of rules determining who leads and who follows. Most men are oblivious to it. They react, adjust, and conform to her mood, her rhythm, her rules. But the one who merely reacts is never respected. To control the frame is to set the tone. You decide the depth of the conversation, the time you give, and the pace of progress, not through force, but with calm authority. A man without a frame is a ship without a captain, drifting with the current. A man with a frame is a lighthouse, steady, unmoved, and guiding everything around him. When she tests you, and she will, do not bend. If she pushes, do not break. Calmly reset to your standards. Show that you are not swayed by the need for approval, fear, or pressure. She must sense that when she enters your world, she is entering a reality already governed by your principles. Imagine a dance. Without a leader, it descends into chaos. But when a man leads with confidence, every step flows seamlessly. Relationships operate the same way. A woman doesn't want to bear the weight of direction. She wants to feel your presence, your steadiness, your frame. Machiavelli would have said, "The man who defines the rules defines the power." If you establish the frame, she will follow. If you surrender it, you will follow hers. Choose wisely. The frame is not just a structure. It is the silent battlefield where respect, attraction, and influence are won or lost. The third rule to conquer any woman is this: stop trying to convince her mind and start moving her emotions. Logic impresses, but emotion conquers. Far too many men believe that if they just explain themselves clearly, presenting their reasons, achievements, and arguments, they will win her heart. They might gain her respect, but respect without desire is a cage, not a victory. A woman isn't drawn to the bullet points on your resume. She is drawn to the way you make her feel in your presence. The surge of tension when you hold her gaze and say nothing, the laughter you ignite with a playful comment that pierces her defenses, the subtle ache of curiosity when you leave before the conversation feels finished. These are not accidents. They are deliberate moves that bypass logic and speak directly to her instincts. Think of it as music. The lyrics might be perfect, but it's the melody that resonates in your chest long after the song is over. Logic is the lyrics, emotion is the melody. She won't remember every fact you told her, but she will never forget the way her pulse raced when you leaned in close and whispered a line that made her laugh, or the silence that made her wonder. Machiavelli wrote that men forget the death of their fathers sooner than the loss of their inheritance. Why? Because emotion rules deeper than reason. Apply this to attraction. She may admire your logic, but she will only desire the man who makes her feel. Stop wasting energy proving points. Stir her curiosity. Spark her imagination. Awaken her instincts. A fire isn't built from logic. It is built from heat. And if you can make her feel, you have already won the part of her that logic can never touch. The fourth rule to conquer any woman is this: do not offer constant presence. Make your time a rare commodity, and she will crave it. Human nature values what is scarce and disregards what is abundant. Be there too often, and your presence becomes background noise. Disappear entirely, and you fade from memory. The art lies in the rhythm, the deliberate use of presence and absence to create a tension that keeps her attention fixed on you. When you are perpetually available, she ceases to value your time. Your words lose their weight. Your presence loses its edge, and you become ordinary. Ordinary is never truly desired. Conversely, if you vanish completely, she will assume you are indifferent and move on. The secret is to master the razor's edge. Appear when it matters, then withdraw just long enough for her to register your absence. This rhythm works like a flame. A flame that never moves becomes dull light, but a flame that flickers, vanishes, and returns captures the eye and keeps the room alive. Your presence must function in the same way. Imagine this. You are talking with her. The moment is electric. Her laughter is genuine. Her hand brushes yours. Most men would stretch this moment until it dies from exhaustion. You, instead, leave first. Not abruptly, but decisively. I've enjoyed this, but I have to go. Suddenly, she feels the void. She replays your words, your smile, your tone. She wonders what you are doing, why you left when things were going so well. That curiosity is not a sign of weakness. It is a source of power. Machiavelli understood that rulers gain authority not just by demonstrating presence, but by strategically withholding it to create demand. Apply this to attraction. When you are with her, be potent. When you are gone, be missed. Absence is not emptiness. It is the sharpening of desire. Use it, and she will pursue not just the man you are, but the space you leave behind. The fifth rule to conquer any woman is this: never make yourself too easy to win. Become a mountain worth climbing. Attraction does not flourish in comfort alone. It grows through friction, effort, and the satisfying struggle of earning something valuable. If you give yourself away freely, pouring out attention, affection, and approval without her earning it, she may enjoy it temporarily, but she will never value it deeply. What costs nothing is respected as nothing. On the other hand, if you are too cold, too distant, or too untouchable, she won't waste her energy and will simply move on. The power lies in the balance. Challenge her just enough to awaken her drive to pursue, but give her enough warmth to make that pursuit feel worthwhile. Think of a mountain. If it is a small hill, no climber feels pride at the summit. If it is impossibly high, no climber even makes the attempt. But the mountain that demands sweat, persistence, and strength, that is the one climbers remember for a lifetime. You must be that mountain, reachable, but never without effort. Here is the truth. A woman respects a man who holds himself to a high standard because it compels her to rise to meet it. She feels a sense of pride when she earns your attention. She values the connection more because she had to work for it. Small delays, subtle tests, and playful resistance all keep her invested, engaged, and eager to prove herself. Machiavelli would remind you that what is won too easily is lost without a fight. Make her strive, not with cruelty or indifference, but with the quiet demand of a man who knows his own worth. Challenge her, and she will cherish the victory of being close to you far more than if you had simply handed yourself over. The sixth rule to conquer any woman is this: protect your weaknesses and reveal them only with purpose. Every man has scars, doubts, and fears, but exposing them all at once isn't intimacy, it's recklessness. A king doesn't parade his vulnerabilities before his court, because doing so invites doubt, whispers, and a loss of respect. The same law applies to you. Showing vulnerability can be a powerful tool, but only when it is rare, intentional, and built upon a foundation of strength. If you reveal every insecurity and fear too soon, she won't see you as deep, she will see you as unstable. Respect will fade, and attraction will follow. Instead, strength must always be demonstrated first. Let her see your composure under stress, your steadiness when tested, and your ability to stand firm regardless of what life throws at you. Only after that foundation is unshakable should you reveal glimpses, not floods, of vulnerability. A story from your past, a rare moment of doubt, a burden you carry with quiet dignity. Think of armor. A warrior wears it not to hide who he is, but to protect himself until the right moment comes to lift the visor. Vulnerability works the same way. It is not the absence of strength. It is the choice to reveal depth at the right time and in the right way. Machiavelli would caution that uncontrolled exposure invites attack, but controlled exposure builds loyalty. When she sees that you are strong enough to protect yourself, yet open enough to occasionally reveal the man beneath, her trust deepens. Never confuse honesty with oversharing. True intimacy is not found in a flood of confessions. It is in giving her a glimpse just enough to make her feel trusted, without ever sacrificing the respect you command. Vulnerability without strength is weakness. Vulnerability with strength is power. The seventh rule to conquer any woman is this: master silence as a tool of presence and tension. Most men are terrified of silence. They rush to fill every pause with words, explanations, or nervous chatter, believing that if they stop talking, they will lose her interest. In truth, silence is often more powerful than speech. When you remain calm and quiet at the right moments, something primal occurs. She begins to wonder, what is he thinking? Why isn't he trying to impress me? How can he be so confident without saying a word? Her imagination does the work for you, and imagination is the soil where desire grows. Words push, but silence pulls. Words explain, but silence makes her reflect. A pause after she asks a question. A steady gaze held just a moment longer than expected. The calm refusal to defend yourself when tested. All of these instances create weight. They make your presence feel heavier, more substantial, more mysterious. Think of silence as tension. In music, the pause before the beat makes the drop unforgettable. In a storm, the stillness before the thunder makes the strike more fearsome. In seduction, your silence makes her lean in, seek your meaning, and question her own footing. Machiavelli would warn that men who rush to speak reveal their hand too quickly. Power lies in withholding. When you speak less, every word you do say carries more weight. She will remember it longer because she had to work harder to interpret it. The man who embraces silence doesn't come across as empty. He comes across as controlled, secure, and rare. Most men babble. The few who master silence captivate. Remember this: words may persuade, but silence commands. The 8th rule to conquer any woman is this: break the pattern. Never let her fully predict you. Predictability kills excitement. When she knows exactly what you will say, how you will react, and where things are headed, the fire diminishes. Human desire craves surprise. It thrives on uncertainty. This is why routine so often suffocates attraction. Unpredictability doesn't mean chaos or instability. It means shifting just enough to keep her guessing. If you always text at the same time, delay it once. If you always agree, challenge her viewpoint unexpectedly. If you always visit the same places, change the setting. These small shifts ignite new emotions. Think of a flame. A steady flame becomes mere background light, but a flickering one that flares and dims constantly draws the eye. Desire functions the same way. She should feel that she can never completely map out your moves, that you are stable enough to trust, but unpredictable enough to excite. Machiavelli would whisper that power is maintained by keeping others slightly off balance because certainty breeds complacency. The same law applies to attraction. If she can fully predict you, she stops thinking about you. But if she cannot quite pin you down, she invests more of her mental energy into trying to understand you. Unpredictability makes you magnetic because it keeps her mind restless, and a restless mind cannot let go. By breaking the rhythm, you ensure her attention never wanes. She wonders when you'll call, how you'll respond, what you'll do next, and in that state of wondering, she remains hooked. So, never become a routine. Be steady in your strength, but fluid in your actions. Let her trust your core, but never fully map your edges. Mystery thrives in unpredictability, and unpredictability is the oxygen of desire. The 9th rule to conquer any woman is this: make her invest in you, because what she works for, she values. Most men get this backwards. They pour all their energy, time, and attention into her, thinking that generosity will earn loyalty. But human psychology operates differently. We value most what we have worked for. What costs us nothing, we eventually take for granted. If you provide everything without requiring any effort in return, you may entertain her, but you will never secure her commitment. She will enjoy the attention, but deep down, she won't feel compelled to hold on, because holding on to something valuable requires effort, struggle, and choice. And if she doesn't struggle for it, she doesn't truly value it. The wise man understands this law. He creates space for her to contribute. He allows her to invest her energy, her time, her care, and her imagination into the connection. This can be through small things: planning a date, reaching out first, surprising you with her thoughtfulness, or bigger things, like supporting your ambitions, showing up in difficult times, or proving her loyalty when tested. Machiavelli would remind you that loyalty is never free. It is built when people feel they have skin in the game, when they have something to lose. If she has invested her energy in you, she becomes more committed and more protective of the bond. She feels that losing you would mean losing a part of herself. Think of it like climbing a mountain. The harder the ascent, the more breathtaking the view from the summit feels. If the peak is handed to you, you never appreciate it. A relationship is the same. If she climbs for it, she treasures it. If it comes too easily, it fades. So let her invest. Don't do everything. Don't give endlessly. Hold back just enough for her to step in, contribute, and feel that her effort matters. The more she gives, the more she values. The more she values, the tighter she holds. That is how you transform fleeting interest into lasting loyalty. The 10th rule to conquer any woman is this: be strong enough to walk away, and she will fight for you to stay. This truth is brutal, but inescapable. The man who needs her the most is always the weakest in her eyes. Neediness suffocates attraction. It makes her feel trapped, pressured, and eventually bored. The man who cannot function without her is not a prize. He is a burden. Detachment is not coldness. It is freedom. It is the calm power that comes from knowing you can live fully, pursue your mission, and enjoy life with or without her. When she senses that your happiness does not hinge on her approval, her respect for you grows, because she realizes she is chosen, not clung to. A detached man loves deeply, but never desperately. He offers affection, but never loses himself in the process. He can walk away, not because he wants to, but because he is whole on his own. That quiet strength makes his presence 10 times more magnetic. Machiavelli would have warned you that dependency breeds contempt. The one who cannot walk away becomes a slave to the one who can. In attraction, this law is ruthless. If she feels you cannot leave, she will test you harder, respect you less, and eventually drift away. If she feels you could leave but choose to stay, she will value you more. Picture a king on his throne. He cares deeply for his queen, but he never forgets that he rules his kingdom with or without her. That dignity makes her honor him. That strength secures her loyalty. You must be that king in your own life. Detachment isn't about creating distance. It's about self-possession. It tells her, I want you, but I do not need you. I choose you, but I am never trapped by you. And that paradox is irresistible. Because in the end, the man who can walk away is the one she will chase to keep. The 11th rule to conquer any woman is this: wear your crown, because a man who sees himself as the prize makes others see it too. Every man emits invisible signals in how he walks, speaks, and carries himself. These signals declare his worth before he even opens his mouth. If you see yourself as ordinary, she will perceive you the same way. If you see yourself as valuable, rare, and a man who knows his direction, she will feel it without needing proof. The crown principle is not arrogance or pride. It is quiet authority. It is the inner posture of a man who respects himself first. A man who does not beg for attention, chase approval, or lower his standards for acceptance. Instead, he moves with certainty, purpose, and calm strength. Think of the difference. The man without a crown hunches, apologizes, and hopes to be noticed. The man with a crown stands tall, speaks less but says more, and looks out at the world as if it already belongs to him. People sense his energy before he explains it. Women feel safe with him, not because he demands it, but because his presence radiates stability. Machiavelli would say, a ruler who doubts himself invites rebellion. A ruler who commands himself commands loyalty. The same truth applies here. If you wear your crown, she follows naturally. If you drop it, she will question you. So carry your crown everywhere, in your work, your friendships, your mission, and your relationships. When you live as the prize, the world treats you as such. Respect yourself, and she will respect you. Move with purpose, and she will walk beside you. You have come a long way to get here, and your mindset is already different. Congratulations. Now, be ready to use this knowledge to change your life forever. The rules are now clear. Mystery keeps her curious. The frame makes her follow your lead. Emotion, silence, absence, and unpredictability transform every moment with you into something she feels, not just something she sees. These are not tricks. They are tools to live as a man she cannot ignore. Do not beg. Do not wait. Do not hope for the perfect time. Act. Lead. Speak with purpose. When you live by these rules, you stop chasing and start attracting. You stop being one of many and become the one she chooses above all others. Remember this: fortune always rewards the man who dares. From this day forward, That man is you. If this opened your eyes and you're serious about becoming the man who is in full control of his life, my book is now available. The Undeniable Man, Built to be Chosen. It is a strategic guide for men who want to attract, lead, and dominate in their love life and beyond. Whether you're single or in a relationship, no fluff, no tricks, just pure, powerful strategy that will set you apart from 99% of men and that you will actually use every day. The link is in the description. And if this video resonated with you, don't just keep your thoughts to yourself. Write a comment, even just a few words. It helps you internalize these lessons and might help someone else too. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this content and share it with someone who, in your eyes, needs it right now. Just trust your instinct. We are all trying to become clearer and more solid inside. So let's build minds that don't break,